Jom dengar DNL the podcast. Together. Dengar sound.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of DNL the podcast bersama aku Lina J dan of course my beautiful co-host
D. Ashburn.
Korang mesti macam cakap
Kat mana
colour
ni?
dia lain pula. Adik ni rumah dia tukar colour. Ni tumpang, studio tumpang hari ni. Kita bertumpang dengan love, sex and what the fuck. Dia kena buat macam tu. Dia tak boleh, kau punya ni tak boleh love, sex, what the fuck, tak boleh.
Okay.
Dia kena ada sassiness in it. Dia kena love, sex and what the fuck. Gitu. So ni studio D. Okay.
Ya, selamat datang.
Selamat datang ke Taman Skoding.
Ya.
Ini studio dia. Dan reason pasal lagi dekat dengan rumah aku sebenarnya. Dan kita pun dalam in the midst of a change.
Yeah, in the midst of move, so we just want you to get familiar with
The colour.
kita punya colour kat belakang ni. Warna akan sama insyaAllah.
Yes, kita akan be uniform in that sense. Kan? Jadi ginilah, sekejap tang sini, sekejap tang sini. Sekejap tang sini aja. Dia macam ini, bergila-gila sampai Abang Jamil mampus.
Ya, betul.
Setuju?
Setuju.
Gitu, alright. So, yeah, we're in the midst of change. So, kalau korang tahu, it's been like a year, like almost hitting a year already with the studio at Prims. Dan kita akan berpindah randa lah. Okay? Kerana aku punya previous partner pun decides to pursue other stuff. As in, the studio partner.
Ya, studio partner.
Studio partner. Dan aku akan berpindah, nanti korang tahu aku akan berpindah ke mana. Rumah yang baru, warna yang baru dan jiran-jiran yang baru.
Ya, betul. Banyak
Betul.
jiran dia nanti.
Korang please faham sikit pasal hari ni aku feel out of place. Bukan pasal studio tau.
Habis?
Pasal kita rekod petang.
Oh, Lina macam waktu
Aku
ni
tak boleh.
dia tidur, dia seperti
tak, dia tak-
seekor
tak,
budak
tak, tak.
hantu.
Tak, time ni aku dah bangun. Tapi macam belum masa kerja.
Okay.
Jadi macam energy dia down sikit. Tapi tak apa, aku akan cuba. Aku akan adapt to timing manusia bekerja dengan cara yang betul. Okay. Dan okay guys, hari ni, so kalau korang dah dengar, I think by the time korang tengok episod ni, episod kita Project Pod dah keluar lah. Okay. Dan please continue to submit korang punya apa ni jawapan, siapa yang korang rasa antara kita will cause all of us to be cancelled ataupun to be hated on. Okay. Just keep your answers coming in dan kenapa. Dan hari ni guys, kita ada story submission.
Yes, your favorite punya
Korang punya
segment.
favorite. Yeah. And thank you so much to you guys yang actually have written in. To be honest actually, before this Andy, before the episode on yang siapa tu yang itulah yang girl leftover tu. The leftover girl in story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
the 2747.
yes.
Before that, actually the story submission was a bit slow. Lagipun aku tak fokus a lot kan dulu on the story submission. Tapi sejak story tu keluar,
Membuat.
korang pun dah rajin write in.
Yes.
So we already have a few stories and please bear with us
Yes.
while we pick a few yang kita nak highlight first lah. But definitely on every episode kita akan highlight one story because we want to give the focus on it. Dan kita nak beri korang peluang also to share your input lah. Takut kalau kita share dua story nanti jantung korang pun terkejut pula.
Yes.
Gitu kan?
Berdegup
Jantungku
jantungku bila
mendengarkan
story.
Gitu.
Alah.
Jarang kau nak dapat dinyanyi lagu Melayu, lagu dandut.
Itu saja yang saya tahu.
dengan
Yang lain-lain mungkin dangdut koplo yang lama-lama.
Betul.
Tengok je tahulah Mina koplo. Kan?
Girl
Kita
koplo. Alright, so hari ni kita ada story. Ni korangnya favourite lah kalau dia meng-react ni. Tapi tu natural. Memang dia, kalau aku berbual dengan dia pun memang dia reaction dia irritating macam itu.
Iya, betul.
Jadi korang enjoy. Dan aku akan sekali lagi membaca cerita ni. The next time aku akan hand over to dia lah. But pada ni aku rasa aku yang patut baca. Okay, this story came from a listener called Iqah.
Kau nak sound effect tak?
Saya faham apa?
Okay, kejap Salah.
Tu news.
Salah.
Dia dah mula guys.
Okay.
Pelan sikit.
Salah, aku tengah cari button dia ni.
Second last. Last one. Last one macam kena TikTok tu lagu dia. Okay, so
suspend lah.
cerita ni dihantar oleh saudari bernama Iqah. Kita nak kasih disclaimer dulu. Okay, while we appreciate all your submissions, we hope you understand that by writing into us means you are willing to see and receive our full and raw reaction.
Betul.
Okay.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you write to us. We would show that we want to be impartial towards you. We will be as genuine as we are on what we really feel about the issue. So again, disclaimer, I need to send it out. So in future, let's say kalau korang rasa nak write in but you guys are not ready to receive such reaction, then maybe don't lah. Takut nanti kita cari hater pula.
Betul.
Macam tak cukup hater.
Dah cukup dah. Sudahlah.
Sudahlah, okay? Alright, so story ni datang pada Iqah. Stand by. This is what she says. I am 20 years old and I'm married with one kid.
Okay, 20, married with one kid.
Yep. My husband is 21 years old.
Okay.
So it's a young marriage lah, early marriage.
Husband is 21.
Okay, here's how our relationship started. In 2021, when he knew about my pregnancy, I told him then I left him as he decided to tell me to have an abortion. Okay, aku correct sikit lah. This, aku baca literally dia boleh cakap. So when she told him of the pregnancy in 2021, she left him because he told her to get an abortion.
So does it mean that now she's 20 and she was pregnant back in 2021?
Yeah, I would assume
Now
so.
she's 20.
I am 20 years old. I am.
Okay, I am 20.
I'm reading based on English.
Minus 4 years, so she's 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bila
Again,
dia
we're reading
pregnant.
based on your story lah. Okay, so she left because he asked her to get an abortion, which she didn't.
Okay.
Okay. When I left him, he really thought I did an abortion because I wasn't with him throughout. But nope, I didn't. So after I gave birth, I was forced by my parents to tell him that I've already given birth to his child on that particular day, on the day of birth of the child. Okay, so parents day yang suruh lah. Actually, dia tak nak bilang. Then he came over to my place to see my kid and whatnot, and then he left. He left me and our kid again. As he said during the point of visit, in the visit dia, pada dia Iqah ni macam try to jual mahal.
Okay.
Okay, ya, aku pun baca ada macam tu sikit. So dia datang, lepas tu dia balik. Pasal pada dia si Iqah ni jual mahal, which I think he meant that he actually want to get back together with me at that point, but I just bolayan.
Okay.
Kau kena faham ni cinta muda.
Ya, cinta monkey lah. Okay.
Kita kena mengadaptasikan diri lah dengan keadaan dan cara submission ni, okay?
Agak sukar lah pasal baru beberapa tahun yang lalu je.
Correct.
Step muda lah.
Kan? So fast forward to 2023, okay? Which our kid is now 1 year old. So so relationship started in 2021. Later on, got to know the pregnancy. So I assume she gave birth in 2022.
2022.
Yes, because the kid fast forward to 23, the kid was already 1 year old. So he came back into our lives. So kira kan bila dia jumpa anak budak tu, dia hilangkan diri lagi pasal Iqah tak layan dia lah. This is what I understand Iqah, if it's wrong, somehow just send us another Google form story or something, okay? So fast forward to 23, which our kid is already 1 year old. He came back into our life. Sidetrack, I did not have any boyfriend or anything like that during that 1 year when our kid was growing. I did everything myself. Good on you.
Props to you.
Yep. Going for the medical checkups and all that. Our kid even had COVID-19 during that time. So he was in and out of hospital and I was handling on my own. The only support I received was only from my parents, family and friends only. Okay. So he then apologized to me and told me he want to be here for both me and our kid. And he said he cannot move on. I tried opening my heart again and we decided to get married in 2024. Okay, so
Baik.
kira anak dia yang 1 year old tu dia jumpa pada
Dah
tahun
jadi
23.
2 years old.
Okay, so they got married in 2024. Here comes the story. Before we got married, he has multiple times hit me and cheat on me behind my back. He only hits me when he was caught red-handed cheating on me. Then one day,
So hold on. He will hit her when he got caught cheating.
yeah, that means aku rasa they got caught cheating, she confronted. I assume he used violence to shut her up.
Okay.
That's how it sounds, right? Okay. Okay, so that one day, I decided to check his phone and my instincts were very uneasy. She felt uneasy, okay? And I caught him talking to so many girls on Facebook. I was shocked. So then I confronted him on the spot. He made up stories saying that it was a long time ago and whatnot. But then again, when I checked, those texts stated a few weeks ago or even a few days ago.
Okay.
Red flag,
Compulsive.
cheating, red flag, liar.
Lawyer.
Okay. I asked him why did he do this to me. He kept quiet. I told him if this if this is what he wants to do, then I don't want to get married. I told him I rather not get married than getting married with a cheater like him. Yeah. He then punched and gripped my arms, asking me to shut up.
Hey.
Pandai-pandai tangan anak orang kelempang kau kan, tahu. Yeah, he then punched and gripped my arms, asking me to shut up. I cried. At a point of time, I don't know if I'm making the right decision in marrying him or not.
Kau masih...
Dia masih fikir, dek, kalau orang nak jalan tangan kat kau satu kali, dek, kau masih nak fikir-fikir marry tak? Kau patut cabut lari, dek. 10 batu kau lari.
One time too many lah.
Yes. That one time yang dia lay hands on kau is the time that you know, okay, not my man.
Yeah, enough.
Walk out.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't.
Like I said again, kita akan kasih kau pendapat sebagai seorang kakak pasal you're really, really young. Right? Okay. So I continue the story. His mom then pushed him and asked him to let me go. Ni pasal dia grip tangan kan? Asked him to let me go. I walked away.
Wait, dia pukul depan mak dia?
So kalau dia boleh pukul kau depan mak dia, dek, ni dah macam cerita dia bukan syurga tau. Alamak, panas betul lah aku.
Tiba-tiba urat-urat saraf aku ni macam tegang gitu kan dengar macam gini. Ya Allah.
Okay, later aku share pasal cerita dia bukan syurga. But I'm seeing a lot of tajul. I mean, if you guys watch the drama, I'm seeing a lot of tajul in this. Sebab kalau dia boleh berani pukul kau depan mak dia.
Yeah, what else kan?
Yeah. That means he has even no respect for his mother in that sense lah. Panas aku baca tiba benda ni.
Kan?
Okay. So his mom pushed him kan and asked him to let her go. I walked away and I let him cool down. After that happened, he came to me and apologized. And again. He said that he was just talking to them and nothing more. I told him to stop. Again, she said. Dengar. I told him to stop or we won't get married.
Dia yang cakap ke lagi tu cakap?
Dia cakap, I told him to stop or we won't get married. So kira kan she is telling him, you better stop all this cheating or else we won't get married. At this
no shit, Sherlock.
Okay, but in my honest opinion, at this point of time, it's not even about the cheating anymore. Dia dah jalan tangan kat kau.
Yeah, it's not about I think the cheating is secondary.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, tak apa, kita teruskan baca.
Okay.
Sebelum kita memberikan komentar.
Hey, panas aku baca. Okay, when we get married, I told him that I will leave him and I'll bring my kid along with me. He agreed that he will stop and I trusted him.
Okay.
After a few months, I caught him cheating again. This time, I caught him video calling another girl while I was working. So I'm assuming she saw the call log or something lah. Video calling sampai 1 hour plus. And yes, this girl is aware that he has a girlfriend and will be getting married, but tak tahu kenapa dia still nak video call.
Hey.
I confronted him again, and this time he slapped me in the face and told me to fuck off.
I hope you did. Well, apparently you didn't.
I cried and I felt that he wasn't taking me seriously at all. Okay. He came to my house to find me and apologized. And again, and again, and again. I told him I don't want to have anything with him at all and will call off the wedding. And he cried. Pay attention, Adi. He cried, right? Lembut hati aku bila dia nangis. Astaghfirullahalazim.
Panjang harakat aku. Lembut hati kau. Hey.
Istighfar panjang aku.
Mic aku ni kuat tau.
Dik. Dia nangis je, Dik, lepas dia pukul kau.
Allah.
Masa kau nangis, dia tak buat apa-apa pun, Dik. Kenapalah?
Kau nangis, hati dia tak lembut pun tau.
Tak, bila kau kena pukul, kau nangis, dia dah sakitkan kau. Dia tak nangis masa tu. Ay.
Girl. Then?
Hey, lembut hati aku bila dia nangis. He cried and he begged me on his knees to not leave him and give him a chance to change. Me being me, I gave him another chance. Surprisingly, he did stop, but my trust for him were gone. We got married. But little did he know I wasn't the girl he met before and I have changed. I start having trust issues. I start overthinking to the extent that I will break down. I start to have that thinking that whenever he's telling me, even if it's the truth, I take it that he's lying to me to cover up for his mistakes. To the extent that wherever he goes, I will need to follow him. I have his WhatsApp web to see if he calls or texts other girls whenever he's at work, or when I'm working, or when I'm not with him. I stop him from using social medias besides IG, TikTok, and WhatsApp. No Telegram, no Facebook, and whatnot. Okay, I'll keep my comments reserved later. Alhamdulillah, no more of this nonsense. Now he really comes clean to me and tell me honestly, but how do I stop this attitude? I'm afraid he will get remorse of me or bored of me. As much as I want to trust him, my mind kept telling me that it's hard to trust him. I am nowhere perfect, but I never once cheated on him. I took care of him when he's unwell, feed him and cook for him even before we got married. I want to be a normal person. I feel that all these thoughts are haunting me every single day. Every time he went to work, all these negative thoughts will come to haunt me. I want to feel okay. I want to feel normal. I need advice on what I can do to make me feel better or something I can improve on. Also, nobody knows about this at all. I did not share this with anyone at all. Meaning to say tak ada orang tahu dia kena pukul, tak ada orang tahu yang dia rasa macam ni lah. So, that's the end of her story. Kak Di, cakap dulu Kak Di.
Okay. I am going to put on my coaching hat. And as much as I am very upset hearing this story, I will do my best to empathize with both your situation and your partner's situation. Now, given the fact that... Sabar, kasi aku tutup ni dulu. Alright. So, given the fact that both of you got pregnant at a very, very, very young age, given this is just based on what you have written and what I've understood, you writing in at 20, presumably you got pregnant at 16, and apa yang kita tahu at umur 16 tahun? Honestly, we do not know anything. You are practically still a baby tau in your mommy's eyes and your daddy's eyes, right? I do not know how you are with your parents, whether you have a good relationship with your mom or your dad, and how secure are you with your attachment. That means whether you have a secure attachment or not. But looking at how things are, I suppose your parents were being very, very supportive throughout your pregnancy, and they have accepted that at 16 you're pregnant. Yang sanggup lah nak suruh kau jaga, teruskan pregnancy tu.
I think also because the fact that dia suruh bilang kan the guy when she gave birth, so they were present lah.
Yeah, so
we assume in that sense.
So I'm assuming that your parents are really supportive and they have been there for you. At 16, I don't expect you to be the ones who are paying for your baby's diapers atau dia punya susu, or maybe kalau you breastfeeding bagus lah, like you save a lot of money in milk. On not having to buy milk powder kan. And with that being said, it is also fair enough for... I understand where your partner is coming from when he have asked you to abort the child. Because, again, dia punya otak tu belum matang lagi tau. And that is not a decision a 16-year-old have to make. I'm assuming he's 16 also lah. Because
he's 1 year older.
Okay, so he's 17.
About
so
that,
still is not much difference, right?
Yeah.
So umur macam itu, kita tak boleh expect lelaki tu untuk be responsible. There are guys who are responsible, but again, unfortunately, kau jumpa orang yang tak responsible lah. And at that age, there's so many things that you guys have yet to clock. That means the mileage of life, kau belum clock. The mileage of a relationship, and on top of that, now you have to become parents. And he obviously is not ready. Now, with that being said, given the fact that you have already chosen to continue with the pregnancy, and then of course the baby's born, etc., etc., you're being a single mom at 16, 17, you're doing fine. My question is, why the sudden change of kenapa kau agree to
Accept him.
accept the father, right? Perhaps you wanted your child to have a father figure. Even though tu kau punya keputusan, pada aku tetap mak bapak kau should have just let the guy go, given of dia punya age lah, and just be supportive for you.
Yeah.
And given also at your age, having to make that big decision is a huge responsibility on your end, and I don't think you were ready to make that decision. Now, unfortunately, things have already gone. Dah go through lah. Kau dah jumpa balik lelaki ni, gedebak-gedebuk. The moment he have laid his hands on you, that's where you're already not safe. Obviously, emotionally, he is not mature enough, so it is pretty. I wouldn't say merit, but it is expected that he would go and explore even more. Pasal muda lagi kan.
Correct.
Aku rasa that time masih berbelas tahun pun.
Ada istilah orang cakap belum puas enjoy.
Belum puas enjoy lah. I mean, what do you expect from an 18, 19-year-old boy?
Pada aku, that age usually bila diorang kena dunia. Pasal dah habis sekolah. As in like the secondary school years done. And then they proceed with poly ke, ITE ke, whatever. Itu part diorang kena dunia lah. Part keluar-keluar kawan. Ada some kerja part time. Dapat pegang duit sikit. You know kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kau punya situation ni dah memang very tragic tau. And I really feel for you, given the fact that, okay, both of you had sex at a very young age, and it's really unfortunate in this circumstance that kau got pregnant. So kau teruskan kehidupan, and I applaud you for that. But staying even after he have hit you, I felt that, in my opinion, that should already draw the line. Kalau aku nak empathize pun, it will look like as if aku kasih dia muka, as in like it is it'll be toxic positivity kalau aku nak empathize. I can empathize, tapi toxic positivity kalau aku cakap, oh tak apa, he will do it. No, that's not it. In my opinion, you should have just left. Now, given the fact that you continued and then there's few after, my question to you again would be, I know this is your choice, but it doesn't make you a martyr just because you stayed in this relationship even after kau dah kena abuse.
True.
Okay? And it doesn't make you a martyr just because engkau agreed to get married and then dia change. That makes you a better person than he is. True. If you want to look at it in a relationship aspect of things, both of you are suffering. He agreed. I don't know why he agreed lah. Pasal aku tak tahu dia punya side of the story.
Yeah.
But he agreed. Perhaps dia ingat kau betul sayang dia, or maybe dia dah mungkin rasa menyesal ke apa. Aku pun tak tahu asal dia masih nak agree dengan kau.
Or maybe the fact that when he came back and he saw the child. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Some instincts there lah.
kerana anak. But
Yeah.
I feel that potentially kau tengah seeking revenge for all of the things that he has done to you in the past, and kau masih belum boleh, obviously kau tak boleh let go kan. So okay, now I am the prize. It looks like you are making yourself the prize, and at the same time kau torture dia for the mistakes that he has done in the past, and at the same time you are also torturing yourself because all of these intrusive thoughts about whether dia cheating lagi ke tak ke apa. You know, in a relationship you want peace tau. So
Kau patut rasa tenang, like come back to a happy day with the kid.
yeah. So if you are not expressing all of this properly to him, and then really resolve this issue as an adult, because at this moment you are still behaving like a kid lah, because you had to grow up so fast, and it's a pity obviously because your years have been robbed. And actually at this time at 20, you should be enjoying life, you should be going on adventures, you should be trying new things. But because you are a mom, obviously aku rasa you still have to hold back a little bit lah.
Yeah.
And kalau kau tanya kau tak tahu nak buat apa, whether should I, apa dia tanya, should I stay or should I go, is it? Or like what was the question?
No, the question right now is she's saying how she wants to start to trust again. So right now, I think that the issue that I find a bit alarming is she's putting all past issues aside and she's making it her issue that I'm the problem now. I cannot seem to trust him. I'm like going crazy. How do I learn how to trust him before he gets remorse of me feeling this way? Because I feel that
Okay.
yeah. So for me personally, I feel that you feel what you feel because that years yang you kena cheated on, that years yang you kena pukul, you did not heal from that day. You did not heal from that, and the thing that makes me question your decision is he has hit you twice or thrice based on your story, but again you give it to him macam oh kalau you tak tukar I akan kalau you tak berubah I akan leave. Like why is the power of it still macam in his hands to change?
Yeah.
Because the issue here is he cheated and he hit you. It's not it's not a cheating thing. What macam in a sense macam cheat. Kalau you need to change, if not I won't get married with you. I'm also a firm believer in sometimes in cheating people can change, especially ni budak muda kan. So mungkin pasal dia belum belajar, macam don't know how to appreciate a woman or whatsoever. But the pukul tu susah untuk aku nak maafkan.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to speak with you like as if you're my sister. Okay, because I cannot wear the coach hat. I will leave it to Kak D. But for me, if you are my sister, and number one, if I know that kau dah kena pukul, the first thing I said, dek, kau angkat kaki kau jalan semua.
Yeah.
And if I know you go back to him, lepas dia dah pukul kau, lepas tu dia pukul kau lagi, dengan kau sekali aku pukul. Because that means you're not thinking of your future whereby, what if the next thing he does is, dia pukul anak kau pula.
Yeah.
The fact that he can hit you in front of his mother, tak kisahlah dia muda masa tu, means I don't know whether he has anger issues or he's just egoistic because he gets called up for his bullshit and then dia jadi marah. So kadang-kadang ada sebilangan haprak-haprak ni, bila kau dah panggil, you already call him out for his bullshit, dia nak cover malu ataupun dia just nak buat kau diam, dia pukul kau, tugasin kau diam.
Yeah.
Instead of dealing with the issue itself. And that's, to me, is very unhealthy. And if I'm your sister, I would say, lu angkat kaki jalan sudah.
And it feels that if it's easy for him to do that, it means that that's the example that he has at home. Maknanya
Probably, yeah.
it is something that he's already seen as a child, and he thinks that that is the way that problems are to be resolved. And hearing, hearing your style, I would say that you definitely have an insecure attachment style, and which is based on this story, kau definitely sound as if kau ada anxious preoccupied attachment, anxious attachment lah. Maknanya you need validation for some reason. Macam yelah, you validate like how can I change myself, instead of seeing the problem is him, you tend to blame diri kau. And you definitely have anxiety of being left. Pasal now the fear is kau cakap kau takut dia tinggalkan kau if
Kalau
he
dia
gets
rimas,
bored.
what if you get rimas of my behavior?
Yeah, so I feel it definitely has got to do with your upbringing juga.
Yeah.
Perhaps I don't know how your parents are. However, it's definitely a traumatic experience that you have gone through as a child that made you this way. Jadi kau nak kena
Okay, aku repeat the new question so we get back on track. At least macam, because I asked you what she wants from us, I need advice on what can I do to make me feel better, okay, or something I can improve on.
This thing, because the issue now kau ada trust issues. You see, you shouldn't have gone through with the relationship knowing the fact that you still had trust issues. You should have already left from the moment he laid hands on you. Because again, even in whatever that I'm learning sekarang, selagi dia tak pukul kau or whatever, yes, you still can work it out. But once your safety is at play, then it is merit for you to leave the relationship.
Ciao.
Because if you can't be emotionally safe with your partner, that one still can work. In the sense that kalau you put work into it lah. Now engkau dah physically and emotionally not safe dengan kau punya partner. And that is kirakan the biggest red flags ever. If you're asking our opinion or advice on how can you be better, the fact that you have already chosen this relationship, and I'm happy at least he has grown up and dia dah tak pukul-pukul kau lagi. The only thing that you can do is really work things out with him and have that have that conversation about what are the things that you that he has to do to make sure that kau boleh percayakan dia lagi. Now, he can also tanya dia balik, apa lagi you nak? I dah tak kasih you ni, I dah tak kasih you tu. So everything else is mental. This traumatic experience is what is the thing that is holding you back from moving forward. So the advice is to go fix that trauma situation. Maknanya kau definitely ada trauma tau. So you will have to go and seek the proper help to help you fix this trauma. Kau tak boleh duduk situ je and say, okay, I will try and figure it out. You definitely need to do a lot of soul searching. You definitely need to do a lot of work within yourself, within your mental capacity to process this trauma so that you can move forward. And you're very, very young still. Kau very muda. So
True.
you have a lot of work ahead of you, babe, because you are still growing up. Kau masih baby sih pada aku.
Yeah. And then
A
you have
baby
to,
with a baby.
yeah, you have to juggle motherhood and then
Yeah.
being a wife, you see. Like I said, I'm going to speak with you like a sister instead of macam I'm not a believer in being impartial lah in any of our studies, to be really honest. I go based on my first feelings on what I feel about this. What I'm a bit confused about is the fact that you said when you inform him of the delivery of your baby, and then he got a bit pissed and he just wanted to walk away because he said you macam jual mahal lah. And the fact is that you said you were not interested. So I pula rasa, so when he came back, I think probably a year on when it was your kid's first year birthday, it seemed that you still have feelings for him because you were using the maaf for lack of a better word, the threat of if you don't change, I don't want to get married. So I feel that if you really didn't feel anything for him, that instance when you know that he cheated on you, you confirm ciao already. You didn't even have to get to the step of kau kena pukul. So I think maybe in this context of this story that you sent, maybe you forgot or you skipped the part on how you actually feel towards him.
Yeah, I feel that there's a lot of holes in
Yeah.
this submission because
Correct.
how suddenly, like the line yang cakap kau jual mahal tu, we need a bit more details on that. And so macam ni kau nak dia chase kau ke apa?
Yeah.
You know?
Kalau to be blunt, I kind of feel that way. I kind of feel that maybe you were expecting him to chase you. You were expecting him to prove to you that, oh look, I'm the best husband for you. I'm the best dad for our child and all that. But however, when you encountered the incident whereby dia pukul you, you still give in. So I feel that ada perasaan sayang kat sana that dia choose to be oblivious to other things.
Yeah, and don't get too familiar with this kind of treatment because then this is definitely not love. Maybe trauma bonded.
Correct.
In many ways than one.
Correct.
When it comes to macam, oh dia hit aku, okay never mind, I can change him, agaknya tak apa, he will turn. Because honestly babe, you will have to love yourself first lah. I mean I totally can understand. Kau 16 tahun, lepas tu kau pregnant, give birth at 17 and then now kau single mom. Even at 21, I still see 21-year-olds as babies because you guys have a lot of life experiences to clock. Kan kita bukan zaman macam nenek-nenek kita 16
Correct.
tahun dah boleh kahwin macam tak ada apa-apa, you know. It is times are very different at this moment and a lot of things are expected of us.
True.
Socially, economically, you know, financially and everything else. So I wish you all the best lah. Honestly, the best advice I can give you is really go and seek a professional help when it comes to fixing that trauma of yours, because if you have not fixed it, you cannot move on. And this you betul-betul perlukan pertolongan profesional.
Correct.
Yeah, so you cannot just expect berbual dengan kawan and that's it. Because selagi kau tak proses trauma tu, selagi itulah kau tak boleh move forward dengan kehidupan kau, kau akan terfikir-fikir dan kau akan stress, kau akan anxiety. Benda yang tak ada apa-apa tu dimomok-momokkan kat dalam kepala otak kau ni, dan kau you won't have peace, your husband won't have peace, and this is just a huge concoction for a divorce.
True.
Yeah.
But would you recommend her to have like a solid sit down talk with this guy to tell him basically how those years of violence and cheating made her feel? So to explain to him that, you know, I don't want to be reacting this way towards you, and I know it's unhealthy. However, I am reacting this way because of this trauma that you caused me. Just to remind you, you cheated on me, blah, blah, blah. You hit me in front of your mother, blah, 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 blah. This is why it's so hard for me to let go. Would you recommend them to have that kind of conversation? But ni bukan duduk macam, you pukul I tau. Bukan gitu Ni kau literally have to sit down and both of you have to be really honest with your feelings, whatever you're going through. And he has to be honest also at this point of time. Apa dia rasa bila kau nak tengok WhatsApp web dia lah, nak tahu dia kat kerja gini semua.
Yeah.
Right? Would you recommend that?
I would definitely, most definitely, but you have to take in consideration that they are of at this age tau.
Correct.
So it's very difficult for them
Correct.
to put the words together to make sure that it doesn't sound like an attack.
Correct.
Kan?
Correct.
And
sedangkan adults pun dah sensitive benda begitu, apalagi I mean at their age, right?
yeah, and you guys are just stepping out of puberty.
Correct.
You are stepping into adulthood. And that in itself, kau punya hormones are still trying to regulate itself, like what the hell is happening.
Yeah.
Kan? Habis, of course, macam the punya mental maturity tu pada aku masih belum sampai tahap tu. Jadi, based on whatever you say, it sounds already very suffocating for your partner tau.
True.
Whoever of course, he has to take accountability for whatever he has done.
He's the cause of this.
Yeah, tapi kau nak kena ingat juga, to a certain extent, mesti ada discount jugalah. Pasal look at his age.
Yeah.
It's a different thing between maybe at umur macam gini, yang buat demikian, dengan orang yang mungkin dah 30 tahun lebih atau
True.
20 tahun lebih, maybe late 20s lah,
yeah.
late 20s, yang dah berkahwin, habis lepas tu buat macam dalca macam gini.
Yeah.
It's a different sort of treatment. So with this sort of age group, because she's very young, and I feel that we definitely have to exercise a bit more empathy. We cannot call her stupid or
we didn't anyway.
You know, we cannot call her stupid for making this kind of decision. You know, there's a lot of should haves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So jatuh pula. Like there's a lot of should haves and stuff like that, but it's easier said than done.
True.
And I feel at this point you really need all the support you can get. You really need all the support that you can get. You cannot expect to be going through this alone. And my best advice to you is to get this trauma resolved.
Right.
The reason why aku cakap professional is because of umur kau.
I
Kalau
agree.
kau dah much of you're much of an adult already, you may have the right group, you have clocked all the correct experience, right experience. Pasal ni technically kau punya first love tau.
Yeah.
Kau belum ada first breakup ke, kau belum apa, that you know, kau masih navigating this what is life, and plus kau ada anak yang kau nak kena jaga lagi, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of work, sis. So you will have to see a professional.
Yeah.
To resolve kau punya trauma dulu, and see how can you unravel this so that you have an outlet. You know how to offload. You know how to make sure that you start overthinking and then you start to spiral, because it's not good for you. It's not good for your baby. Your baby needs you, you know. And it's definitely not easy being a mother and a wife. Ni kalau kau punya boyfriend ke, kau punya laki dengar kan, sorry bro, if you know having sex is it's a high risk thing, kan? You know, pregnancy is part of the risk, and unfortunately that happened. But fortunately you kau ada cahaya mata yang, you know, sangat a beautiful thing yang dikurniakan. Jadi no matter what, try to work things out. And at least kalau betul dia cakap dia dah tak pukul lagi, alhamdulillah, mungkin he grew up already.
I hope so, yeah.
So itu je lah aku boleh nasihatkan kau.
Correct. So touching on the part where I said like I you know, coming in as a sister and all that, of course we wish, like I said, based on the earlier, we wish you did not continue. However, I would like to highlight that since you have made the decision to get married, kan, I believe that part itself, you also can ambil accountability on that part because it's you yang beri the peluang, it's you yang beri the step. Okay, we can get married. Instead of walking away, you choose to get married. So with that alone, dengan that decision to get married, I feel that you should be ready to go through these things and should be ready to later on learn how to really let go and restart the relationship as a real married couple. Easier said than done, like what Kak Dee said. I agree with her that you need to see a professional because even if let's say you want to go through this with your husband, better still have a professional seated with you guys because you guys need that guidance, dan dua-dua parti kena dengar. Okay, one thing I want you to know is you are not just the problem because from your context of your writing ni, I feel a bit down and I feel a bit worried that you are blaming it on you right now. You have to understand that he is the cause of it and that's why you are reacting this way. Okay, and what you are feeling is perfectly normal. Cuma the tak normal part is you choose to get married at that point of time. Then after this, because when you choose to get married, like I said, you kena be prepared lah. You will have the tendency of macam, is he cheating on me again? Which is normal. Cuma now that you said he's not doing it anymore, hopefully, then you need to be able to be brave and take the next step of, okay, based on the trend behavior, dia tak buat lagi, let me try to let go a little bit by doing this or doing that.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I really need you to understand that you cannot blame yourself. That's number one.
Yeah.
It's very unhealthy in that sense. Then it's sad that you did not even have friends to tell to. And I'm very sure you did not tell your family, friends and your parents pasal you don't want them to hate the guy. So that's why I said, dia just sayang like you do.
Yelah, kau nak kena faham arti sayang tu apa. Kita kalau sayang seseorang, kita jangan sampai hilang diri kita.
Yes.
And again, aku tak tahu macam mana kau punya relationship dengan kau punya father. I feel that if your dad, entahlah, this is just my assumption usually anak perempuan yang bapanya yang sayang dengan dia kan, dia tak, jarang yang dia akan buat kesilapan ni. Kesilapan maksud aku is bukan kau pregnant ke tak, no. Kesilapan yang mengharapkan sangat kasih sayang seorang lelaki walaupun dia absent. And if let's say, hypothetically, if let's say your father is that sort of character, you will be drawn to this type of man because the absence of that figure is the thing that, this is what love feels for me. You attract that kind of energy. So aku tak tahu how you are with your father. If he is a very good father, a present father, then that's really good for you. But if he isn't, then it explains why you're so attached to this dude.
Way.
Yeah,
True.
it just explains lah.
I mean, if after you've seen this episode, obviously we are talking about you because you submitted the story, and if you feel macam terpanggil to give us more information based on what we've talked about or the questions that we have, right? Please do so. Even if you have to reach us via IG. I mean, don't be afraid. We just hope that, because you said, I'm just worried that she said she cannot talk to anyone. Okay. I hope you're watching that drama on Astro because that could possibly happen to you also.
Yeah.
Okay. Then kalau you really got no one to talk to, girl, it will really fuck your mind big time.
Yeah. I used to have kenalan lah. I don't want to say family ke friend. So this person, she was in a very abusive relationship. So the husband, they're normal tau. She's a normal lady and they had 2 kids. But throughout her marriage, she was beaten. She was verbally abused, and it got to a point where she went a little. Dia ada macam schizophrenia ke apa. Dia jadi gila lah. Like literally, for the lack of better term, unfortunately, I don't know what's the medical term to use. Tapi dia, kalau dalam mata kasar kita, dia jadi gila. She lost herself to the point where, masa boleh buka baju jalan bogil macam gitu, to that extent. And then she got like that, but her spouse, I think before that they got a divorce, and the spouse yang pukul dia and everything, he's happily married with someone else. So this thing can eat you up kalau kau tak process trauma ni, kalau kau tak you don't work on it, dia betul boleh makan dalam tau. It
Correct.
can affect your health and it can affect your mental. Jadi at a very young age, mungkin kau masih baru ni, so sebelum dia jadi ketara,
Seek help.
seek proper help.
But if let's say you don't know where to seek help, or like if let's say you have any other questions, right, how to even seek help, I think write into us. Probably Kak D can reach out to you even better when we have more informations about you, because you know there's just so much that you can send via the Google form, and you're not exactly detailed on some of the areas here. So yeah, I think that's just the part I'm concerned about, like that you don't have anyone to talk about. So that's a major concern. Like from my point of view, that's a major concern. However, I still also want to applaud you, because the fact that I think you choose to get married because you think that people can change, and I really hope he stick by it, girl. Not to be such a wet blanket sort or whatsoever. However, I just want you to remember, anyone, it's not just a man. Even kalau perempuan, anyone who wants to cheat, they can find any kind of way to cheat. Tak semestinya kalau kau ada control WhatsApp web dia tak boleh cheat. Kau adakan dia IG dengan TikTok je tak boleh cheat. If they want to cheat, dengan nyonya jual air pun boleh cheat, dek. So that's why I said the issue
Macam
here.
kedai padang pun boleh.
Lagi macam nasi padang panggil sayang pun boleh kena cheat juga, you know. So I think at the end of the day, not that I'm trying to tell you to doubt him, but I'm just telling you that the fact that you think you control and you have good control is sufficient. It's not like that. So you really have to get treatment for that, so that you learn how to trust fully and without any macam hesitance, macam fikir ataupun any macam overthinking of the possibility. What about this? What about that?
Yeah,
You
you
know?
may think that you are in control of him, but fact of the matter is you are out of control
Correct.
of yourself.
Correct.
Because if you are in control, you wouldn't be asking all of these questions.
Correct.
Yeah?
It's good that you share that part. Cuma I think dengan pengalaman kita, we want to tell you lah, kalau nak tipu tu macam-macam cara boleh, dek. So even when I read that, I'm like, I just look at Kak D, I said, oh okay. I said, this also shows you punya lack of the clocking of hours like you mentioned. You know?
A lot of milestones yang
A lot of
kau
milestones.
nak kena cross. Lagi,
Correct.
that's why aku nak cakap marah sangat dengan budak lelaki tu. Yes, aku marah because marah to a certain extent, tapi I have to exercise empathy.
Correct.
He's literally still a kid. So y'all are babies with babies. Jadi kita tak boleh cakap bodoh budak ni, tak boleh. You know, kita faham. Jadi teruskan kehidupan dan please seek help. If you don't know where to go, you can reach out to me. I have a few friends who can help you out with this. This is definitely not my jurisdiction. I'm more, to a certain extent aja, aku rasa the help that I can render to you is maybe just the escalation and perhaps a communication on how you can do that. And but I feel that your issues are more deeply rooted, so you need bigger guns lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And dengan apa kita bagi ini kan, don't sweep things under the carpet. Don't go to it like, alah, dia orang tak jawab jawapan aku. Like it's not what I want to know. I just want to know how to get over this. The answer is
Kau
you
nak
can.
jangan feeling budak-budak kasi kita.
Kurutan kau kan nanti kan.
You cannot think. I mean, aku
You
tahu kau
cannot do
budak,
that.
tapi kau nak kena. You ask for our opinion, and this
Correct.
is it. So
Correct.
if you don't know, then again, just reach out, and then we
will
point
guide
you in
you
the
lah.
right direction.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Most importantly, don't sweep things under the carpet, because that won't do you any good. 2 years down the road, you might even have a relapse on this lah. Okay, dan so we're gonna post this after kita dah post with the reels and all that. We hope yang kakak-kakak yang lain, okay, yang ada pengalaman macam gini, maybe you can share your input. Then I hope you, when you read it, you also read with a clear mind, because I'm very sure kakak-kakak yang write in ni pun, dia orang anggap kau macam adik dia lah. When they are writing in, you know, kadang-kadang through ayat-ayat yang diorang tulis mungkin pada kau kasar, there's a lot of kasih sayang inside that you need to turn it around lah. Okay, but it's just how it is sometimes when people write in macam out of, macam bila dia baca terus they react. Okay, so reach out to us if you do have any more information that you want to share, and we can help you out. And berat lah, topik berat lah ni.
And nanti kau nak cakap, jangan lupa pada kita punya listener yang baru-baru atau listener yang lama. Kau rasa aku suka konten-konten aku dengan Lina sejak baru-baru ni, kau nampak banyak muka mak ni kan. So just let us know what are the topics you like us to cover. At the same time, aku ingin meluahkan simpati tak lah. I just want you guys to, if possible, tolong naikkan kita punya rating lagi.
Yes.
Vote 5 stars. I feel that it's time for you guys to start rating us again.
True.
And if you have any further questions or whatever, just drop us a DM or hantarlah Google submission.
Yeah, so if you got a story to share, something that we can relate to, something that you, even if let's say you have gone through something and then how you went through it, you can share with us. Mungkin kita boleh share pengajaran tu with the others. And we hope to hear from you. Submit the form via Google Form, is on the link on IG. Then we'll see you guys on the next episode of DNL the podcast bersama aku Lena J.
I'm D. Ashburn.
And don't forget to follow her also on Love, Sex and What the Fuck.
Yeah,
That's her
follow me.
other podcast. A lot of things so kakak-kakak also to learn from, abang-abang also to learn from. Yang adik-adik dengar boleh, educational boleh, tapi don't get into that so much lah. Adik-adik yang adik-adik lah. Yang kakak-kakak dah kahwin, listen to every episode. So we'll see you then on the next episode. And by then I think kat rumah baru kot.
Aku rasa kat rumah baru.
Alright,
Okay.
see you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Boy.